Paul George is our guest now. You said you're more excited entering this year than maybe you've ever been. Why is that?
It's just a fun group. You know, I've been used to being the youngest guy. Now all these guys, we're almost the same age across the whole board with this team. So, you know, everybody just loves being around each other already. It's a new group, but feel good about this one.
How important is that, loving being around each other? Does it matter in the big picture?
It really matters. You know, we're together for a year, and you know, it's good that we can make the most of it. You know, I've had, you know, great moments with being with good teams and moments with being with struggling teams, and you know, the more that, you know, you love being around each other, the better. You know, whether we have a good or bad season, we can stay tied together. It's good for building going forward.
We talked about this with Jeff Teague. I want to ask you the same question. What do you think he can do for you? He has a skill set that I'm not sure the Pacers have had over the last few years, and someone who might be able to aid you in getting your shot in certain spots.
Yeah, well, Jeff is a true point guard. Just looking forward to running the wing, him pushing the tempo, getting down the floor faster, speeding our game up a little bit. You know, as much as he can help me, I'm looking forward to helping him as well.
How much does the style of the point guard affect the way you want to play? Not as a team, but individually.
It affects everything. At the end of the day, the point guard is the one that pushes the ball and gets us going. You know, it's Jeff get that thing and he's flying down the court. It forces us to fly with him. So, you know, I think that's a great luxury that we have this season.
What's the potential of this roster? What can it be if everything syncs up the way you guys hope it can be?
You know, we hopefully should be challenging, you know, Cleveland in the East. You know, that's not the only team that's going to be a great team this year, but they're the champions and a team to beat. So for us, that's who we have to get to is, you know, find how can we challenge the you know, Cleveland Cavaliers.
You already talked about the fact that this is a cohesive group, a group that gets along. But that's still a little bit different than being cohesive on the floor. And when new guys come in, it could take a minute or an hour or a month, or it might never happen. Have you had enough interaction with these guys to get a feel for how long that transition on the court might take?
I think it's going to be, you know, smoother and an easier process than people think. You know, for one, this is a veteran group. Everybody kind of knows their game. At this point, they know what role they have to fill. And I think that's a good thing in teams. You know, you have young teams that guys are trying to do this, they're trying to do that, they're trying to be something that they're not. Everybody knows who they are at this point. So I think at this stage now, it's kind of, you know, everyone, you know, pinpointing something that they can bring to the table. And, you know, we roll from there.
You're a confident player, and we were talking to you on Media Day last year. You were confident even though you were coming, you know, back from that injury where you'd only played a few games in the previous season. But now where you are, do you look back at that time last year and say, okay, there's a noticeable difference?
There is. You know, I've grown so much over this past season, last year, to where now I feel even better as our leader and you know, our floor general. So I'm just excited, you know, really excited about this season. It's going to be a good year. You know, I set the bar high for myself as far as what I expect out of myself. So, you know, it's getting back to the drawing board and, you know, trying to be number one.
It's always a pleasure to see you. That said, I'm a little disappointed because this is as close as I'm ever going to get to a gold medal. I was hoping you would have brought it.
It's here. I don't know why nobody brought it back. They were supposed to go in the back and go grab it.
So how was that?
It was fun, man. It was honestly one of the best experiences I've had. You know, just being around so many good dudes. You know, people forget. You know, we were together for almost a little over a month. So, you know, you've come to get close with a lot of the guys, and you know, it was just fun. It could have been totally different had guys been snobby and to themselves. Everybody was open to one another, and it made the experience that much better.
Are there things that you can learn in that environment that you could only learn in that environment? For example, are there things with Team USA basketball that you maybe wouldn't be able to replicate or learn had you not gone through that process?
Yeah, I think on the floor, it's you know, all of those guys deserve the ball. We all deserve the ball at some point in the game. But to figure out how to dominate and be a piece without having the ball, I think I could add and bring to this team. Learning how to rebound, learning how to extend plays, learning how to dish and facilitate even better. That all would transcend to the season.
You knew all of those guys, but you didn't know them, if you get what I'm saying. Was there any guy in that mix that you left at the end of the experience saying, well, that guy's not at all who I thought he was?
I mean, I will say this. One person that I've became pretty close with now is Carmelo. Of course, I've been around Melo for a long time and, battling him in the playoffs, been on the All-Star teams with him. But during all of those, it's a quick stint of being around him, being with him for a little over a month. He's one person that, I really got to know and, I respected the most. I had a great time learning and being under his wing.
We'll finish with this. You talked about gelling. You talked about how important that is to reaching the potential of this team. Specifically, what are the keys to gel and to get right for late October when you open with the Mavs, October 26th? I
think we just have to be open. There's no ego. Since I've been here, we've been great with that. We got to continue on with that. That pattern of leave the egos at the door. Let's have one common goal, and that's to win. Do whatever it takes, and that's all I ask out of these guys.
All right, well, that's Paul George. Appreciate your time, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Paul.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming back.